Next station, Boon Lay.
For the last few months, our group was engaged in this project called Adsorbed natural gas. We are basically analyzing a new material called metal organic framework, which can be used to store natural gas through adsorption. Our job is to find out which kind of MOF is the best when it comes to meeting storage. This project is from NTU, and under the guidance of our mentor Mr. Sibnus Keyo, we learned the 4 experimental procedure, including synthesizing of metal organic framework and the testing of it.
Now, open, close.
This project is quite a meaningful and productive one for me. I decided and persuaded my groupmates to choose this project because the term metal organic framework is a term that I've heard before but never really got time to investigate in it. The idea of using adsorption to increase our volumetric uptake and its applications really fascinated me. However, when we really started the project, we found out that it is not what we think it will be. All of our experiments are done in NTU, and a single ride takes at least 1.5 hours. The lab was also not as exciting. Sometimes we just spend hours sitting in the lab and doing nothing except waiting for the temperature of the adsorption chamber to stabilize. Due to some adversities such as miscommunications, not every one of our trips are productive. Sometimes we spend the whole afternoon getting to NTU, but found out that there's nothing we can do. But the whole afternoon has already been wasted on the bus. However, our efforts and perspirations were not wasted. From all these waitings and lab works, I learned patience, resilience, as well as how to fully utilize time and ensure efficiency when we can actually do something. Also, as a group leader, I also learned a bit more about leadership. I have to be responsible for my groupmates and done the preparation and set everything down before I can tell my groupmates what to do next. Besides my normal responsibilities as a group member, I'm also in charge of organizing meetings, assigning works, communicating with mentors and teachers, as well as updating my members about what to do next. This is not as easy as I thought, but it is a quite meaningful experience for me.
Honestly, our project has made my year much more fulfilled, as it is an all-new experience for me to learn about cutting-edge technologies like metal organic frameworks and methane absorption. This project introduced one of the technologies with very high potential in the future to us in depth. And first and foremost, throughout the whole process of our project, time arrangement has always been crucial because the schedules of both our group members and the external mentors are quite busy. And communication is also really important. At the beginning of our project, the external mentor sent us a few useful papers and slideshows, and they really effectively helped us get familiar with the basic ideas and concepts of MOF and gas absorption. Secondly, based on our experiences so far, we solved not only the research problems, but also the problems in reality that we met. The experimental setup and the equipment had their limitations, and there were safety regulations for us to follow as well. Our time slots arranged for experiments was delayed for quite a long time due to the late arrival of the new autoclave reactor, and this situation really posed a challenge to all of us.
The main apparatus consists of over 100 parts, and once the results are incorrect or the graph is abnormal, the whole setup needs to be examined from top to the bottom or to be dismantled. So it is quite exhausting, but we made ourselves very patient, and nevertheless I learned to be open to new topics and ideas. It is quite mind-refreshing experience to get in touch with something I've never known before. Also, patience is another quality I got improved, and I have learned to do the web reports as well, for I have never done this before and felt it was quite interesting also. All in all, it is a fruitful STEM project for me this year.
At the beginning, our original goal was to synthesize our own MOF for methane storage. Our ideal result was a new kind of MOF which best fits all the properties of methane and lower the cost of the adsorbents. However, after our background research, we find out that synthesizing is not as simple as we considered, and it not only requires the correct ratio of chemicals but also the suitable temperature and pressure. Adsorption is also a kind of new and wide field which we've never learned before. If we want to achieve the goal, we have to know more about the calculation of complexation forces and the construction of new chemicals. There is too much to learn within the time limit given by the project's competition, and besides, the resources provided by NTU is also limited. We can't use all the apparatuses that we want to use, and we can't enter all the laboratories. We have to find a balance between the depth of research and the limited time and resources. After much of literature review, we decided that we will mainly focus on the experimental stage instead of going into theories. We shifted our attention to the testing and categorizing of the present metal organic framework, and we hope to obtain a relatively more convincing conclusion of which kind of MOF is mostly suitable to store methane gas.
From this project, I learned leadership.
I learned new knowledge.
I learned new skills.
I learned anticipation.